Yeah, welcome back to McCarthy Performance. Today we're going to hone out the Pontiac. I opened up the deck plate for it yesterday. This is a bigger bore than I normally do. When I ordered this deck plate, I should have ordered it a little bit bigger. But anyways, not a big deal. It's all taken care of. We're all set to go. We're going to start honing on this Pontiac block. This is my machine that I built. Of course, like everything else, this is a disclaimer. This is how I do it. This may not be the way you do it. And, you know, if you do it differently and you get good results, that's great. I'm not going to get into too many things on it. I do start out with a diamond vitrified stone, which is roughly similar to the 131 stones, and then I follow that up with a intermediate stone, which is vitrified. That is actually a silver seal stone, which is basically similar to the 2 series grit. I follow it up by a 3, and then I plateau. I'll brush it depending on what size bore it is. I have a Sun & brush, and I have a Goodson flat fiber brush that I give them about 5 strokes each. And when I mean each, if it's a smaller bore, the Sun is what I use, brush, and that I give that 5 strokes. And if I on the bigger bore stuff from like 4/125 up to 6/4/600, I use the Goodson flat fiber brush, and I give that about 5 pumps too. So we're going to hone on this a little bit. Right now I'm using basically the 2 series stones. Okay, got it. I'm going to take another 1/2 thousandths out. My stones may need to be dressed. What I usually do when I dress them is usually the wipers need to be dressed down, so I measure this and I put it in the vise carefully, and then I file this down, and then I'll break the edges. I measure it with verniers, digital calipers, whatever you want to call them, to control how much I'm taking off. I can tell that it probably does need to be dressed, but we'll take the 1/2 thousandths out of this bore. I'm going to let it set. It's not going to change much because we're not putting much heat in it. So, but I'll come back tomorrow and I'll finish up this bore. I'm sure that it would cut a little differently. Obviously, we're running up on the shoes, but I kind of know where we're at right now with it, so I don't really want to change it up right now. I'm so close that I'd prefer to do it on another bore that I'm taking more than a 1/2 thousandths out. Now, we're going to do probably just 1 or 2 bores. Probably next one will be that one right there. Yeah, we're right exactly where I want to be. Yep. We got a little variation in the center of the bore. We're about probably 3/10 different, but I can straighten that out. That ain't a problem. The 3 series stones should take that out. If I have to, I'll use a short stone. I don't really like to use a short stone. I try to use the long stones, and you know, stroking, overstroking. But guys, you know what it takes to make the bore straight. I'll overstroke the hell out of something if I think if that's what it takes to make it right. Usually on the bottom of the bores you get choke, and depending on what kind of block it is, depends how much choke you get. Some of the Fords like the beer barrel. So you know, every block's a little different, but these Pontiacs are, they don't move around too much. I've had pretty good luck with them. The older ones are, you know, not too bad. So we'll run up and down this one a couple times. You can really feel where the head bolts are pulling. I try to put a deck plate on everything. I know a lot of people have opinions on deck plates, and yeah, you know, the bore's static right now. There's no heat in the engine. It's not running. The head ain't clamped down with the original head, you know, so things can change, but you know, still they're going to be a lot rounder than they would be if we didn't use the deck plate. So I feel that there's advantages to doing it with a deck plate. Grant you, the factory probably never did it with a deck plate, but most of the time if I do an engine, I want to try to use a deck plate with it, and I have most all my deck plates for all the engines that I work on. If I get one and I think I'm going to get more of them, then I'll buy a deck plate. But I like to put deck plates on everything. You know, there's going to be some guys arguing about whether it's worth it or not. I don't care. Don't email me. I'm going to do it my way. You do it any way you want. If you want to make your own videos and tell everybody and how it's not worth putting them on, that's fine. You can do that. But there's variances and everything, and I get it, you know. But you know, we try to do the best we can with what we've got, you know. I like to run a lot of honing oil. I really flood it. Diamonds work good, but I just don't feel comfortable enough to run diamonds all the way through the whole entire job. We're down to a half a thousandths. Yeah. I know these videos are probably not as exciting. I don't know how to make them any more exciting. You know, but this is kind of you know, one step above watching paint dry, I guess. You know, and we're almost centered to the bore. Yeah, if I had to do this over again, I probably wouldn't have put that Acme thread up here to advance the head forward and backwards, but it still works good. And I've got two honing machines. I've got this one, and I've got my axe, and I've got a 350 in the axe right now that's going to be a 383. So I can work on this and let it set and go work on that one. I'm a one-man shop, so it allows me to get two done at roughly about the same time. Sometimes it don't work out that way, but if I want to get a break away from one, I can walk away from it, go to the other one. It wasn't planned that way. It ended up being that I built this machine and I kind of half-ass copied an axe machine that the axe machine became available, and I had the room in the shop, and at the time I had the money for it, and I thought, why not have two honing machines? And it comes in handy because a lot of times somebody will come in with a motorcycle jug or a snow machine jug, or small engine, and they'll need it honed. And I've got a V8 in my other one, and this one here really I've sure honed a lot of Harley Davidson jugs in this machine, and it works pretty good for that. It's fairly user friendly for the first time designing the machine. I can feel a little choke in the bottom of the bore, but so I'll dwell a little bit more down in the bottom, but I'm going to verify that obviously with the dial bore gauge. We're good. We're really good. We're going to leave her like that. This one we got to take half a thou out, and a little bit more at the bottom. Well, I'm not going to make the video too long because obviously you guys are going to get bored. This doesn't pique your interest. After a while, it's you've seen one bore, you've honed, you've seen them all, I guess. I can't impart any wisdom to you that's going to be any benefit to you. I guess it's just one of them deals where you hone it, you measure it, you hone it, you measure it, you hone it, you measure it. When things start going sideways, then you got to get creative. And like I said, I use short stones, and I also dress the stones. If I got a lot of choke down at the bottom, I'll dress the stones up on a taper. So when I'm running down, I'm knocking the bottom of the bore out more than the top. And both of these machines, the way this head arcs, poses the other head the way that head arcs on its pivot. They hone a little differently. And I haven't used this hone in a while. But it does the job. It's not a CK10, but I can usually hold under a half a thousandth with it without any kind of struggle. So that's pretty good for what I'm doing. Kind of roughing these in. I gotta crank the heat up in the shop tomorrow and let this thing set and see where she's gonna really be at. Right now it's colder than hell in Michigan, which it's winter, but usually when I'm honing, I usually turn the heat up. So this one's got to have a little bit more taken out of it, and that's coming around. One thing that's nice about the diamonds is usually they, most of the time, taper isn't much of an issue. With the vitrified, you got to kind of watch how they break down and dress them, and that one needs to be dressed. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that. Well, that's just a short little video of the honing on this 400. Thanks for watching.